Look fine. It doesn't be bothered when you started.
Yeah.
What's a bit weight?
What kind of right?
Biggest loser challenge. Really.
There's the Pope mobile.
Sorry?
There's the Pope mobile.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you gotta give away. Why, that's it.
There was a movie to do for Sean when he died there. It's like half life. Every day Sean when he died. But I think after the funeral he wasn't there. Something like that. Something on there, wasn't it? Oh, he didn't know that at the time. It was after Jim McAllister.
Can you hold on there, please? Just hold on, please.
They are Rose. Craig. I'll get the door for you, Jim.
I just give it.
Right. That's it.
On Sheehy! Rod, casting! Rod!
A 100 years ago, men and women gathered in this location. Some had followed the route that we just took from Kimmage, from the Kimmage Garrison, Larkfield House, and had marched down here full battle dressed with weapons and pulling carts behind them with bombs. Originally, there was supposed to be over 700 volunteers and members of Cumann to gather here in this square. And from here, they were to extend out, take charge of major buildings in this vicinity and to hold them in case the British Army reinforcements or British Army from barracks nearby were to attack the city centre, in particular the GPO. Other people who were in the Larkfield house, which is where we started from, just across the road, which is owned by the Plunketts, had been there, who had escaped arrest in England, who were avoiding conscription in England, Scotland and in Wales, and had come across and had lived in Larkfield House for a number of months, and were involved in drilling, in shooting practice, making munitions, grenades and the like, and also involved in telecommunication expertise. The first casualties of the rising, in fact, came from the Kimmage garrison. They were 3 men who had been sent on a journey on Good Friday to Kerry to capture the telecommunication or the telegraph centres in Kerry and to spread the word about the rising and also to contact beyond. And they drove off up here in the dark and died. Three men who were based in Kimmage. And because of that, and because of the failure of the land beyond, the rising was in doubt. And on McPhail sent out a countermanding order, and which meant that there was confusion amongst the volunteers throughout the country, but also here in the city. So on Easter Monday at 11 o'clock, when the men and women gathered at Larkfield House, instead of 700 men and women, there was only 120 when they reached here in Emerald Square. And from here, Eamon Kent, whose house we passed nearby only there a short while ago, on Dalton's Barn. It's now number 283 on South Circular Road. At the time it was Dalton Terrace. He came around to inspect his troops and to give them their orders. And they did so just around the corner here, out of sight of any police or military that were around. So around 11:30 on Easter Monday, the men and women of the 4th Battalion, and that's what this area was part of, set out from here to capture the South Dublin Union, which is what we have now is James's Hospital, and it's only a couple of 100 yards from here. They were also sent to capture the Jamestown Distillery, which is now St. Catherine's Community Centre, and down further down the road here, Cloncolbert was sent to capture a brewery, Watkins Brewery, and that's sitting on the corner of Arkey Street and the Coombe. It's only an old building that's in very bad state of affair at this stage. So with 120 men, Eamon Kent had a major problem. He didn't have the amount of men he required to capture and to hold the buildings that he took over. The other building, sorry, that I forgot to mention was Rose Distillery at Mount Brown there. That was to be held by Thomas McCarthy. And what he did, and the courage of the men and women in that week of Easter week, is testament to the people living in this area. And there is a list of all of those who took part available. I have a copy of it if people want to check who was involved in Easter week 1916, just short 100 years ago today. And they set out and they held South Dublin Union and Marylebone Lane for the full week and held out. And in fact, many of the men and women managed to avoid capture during the roundup, if you want, afterwards, and went on to be involved in the Tan War and in the Civil War. Many of those who did take part were rounded up, were sent to Richmond Barracks and were court-martialed there, or exiled to Clongop Jail, where they were interned. But when they returned, many of them got involved thereafter. So I'm going to ask now that we have a reading of the proclamation kind of by Tariq Pierce. There was a famous event in this area in 1915. Tariq Pierce was one of the most famous orators in the 4th Battalion area. Each company of every battalion area went into the GPO. That's how they made the decision. Tariq Pierce was one of those, and Willie Pierce and others who were part of the 4th Battalion area. But Tariq Pierce gave a major oration nearby here in 1915. There's a famous photograph addressing the crowd, and it says Dolphin's Barn. Now, if you want to remember, most of the houses in Crumlin, in Drimna, and in this area did not exist at that time. So where you have Crumlin Shopping Centre now and the Brickfields Park would have been a brick factory at the time. That's why it's called Brickfields. But the oration that he gave, we reckon was given at the site of the Crumlin Shopping Centre today. So I think it's appropriate that we have Tariq Pierce here to reenact another famous oration that he gave on Easter Monday in 1916.
Public the Heron. The Provisional Government of the Irish Republic to the people of Ireland. Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and of the dead generations from which she receives her own tradition of nationhood, Ireland, through us, summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom. Having organised and trained her manhood through her secret revolutionary organisation, the Irish Republican Brotherhood, and through her open military organisations, the Irish Volunteers and the Irish Citizen Army, having patiently perfected her discipline, having resolutely waited for the right moment to reveal itself, she now seizes that moment, and supported by her exiled children in America and by gallant allies in Europe, but relying in the first on her own strength, she strikes in full confidence of victory. We declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies to be sovereign and indefeasible. The long usurpation of that right by a foreign people and government has not extinguished the right, nor can it ever be extinguished, except by the destruction of the Irish people. In every generation, the Irish people have asserted their right to national freedom and sovereignty. 6 times during the past 300 years, they have asserted it in arms. Standing on that fundamental right, and again asserting it in arms in the face of the world, we hereby proclaim the Irish Republic as a sovereign, independent state, and we pledge our lives and the lives of our comrades in arms to the cause of its freedom, of its welfare, and of its exaltation among the nations.
Where's the soldiers?
The Irish Republic is entitled to and hereby claims the allegiance of every Irish man and Irish woman. The Republic guarantees religious and civil liberty, equal rights and equal opportunities to all its citizens, and declares its resolve to pursue the happiness and prosperity of the whole nation, and of all of its parts, cherishing all the children of the nation equally, and oblivious of the differences carefully fostered by an alien government which have divided a minority from the majority in the past. Until our arms have brought the opportune moment for the establishment of a permanent national government, representative of the whole people of Ireland and elected by the suffrages of all her men and women, the provisional government, hereby constituted, will administer the civil and military affairs of the Republic in trust for the people. We place the cause of the Irish Republic under the protection of the Most High God, whose blessing we invoke upon our arms, and we pray that no one who serves that cause will dishonour it by cowardice, inhumanity, or rapine. In this supreme hour, the Irish nation must, by its valour and discipline, and by the readiness of its children to sacrifice themselves for the common good, prove itself worthy of the august destiny to which it is called. Signed on behalf of the Provisional Government, Thomas J. Clark, Sean McDermott, Thomas McDonough, P.H. Pearce, Eamon Kent, James Connolly, and Joseph Plunkett.
So Thomas and Berkenish, we have a pana from both Indian men, a pana, I guess, salute you. both sides. Sure, agus tá mé chun roiin cuiachas a gháil le roiid daoine agus roiid de gcuimse well, sitte ar fád atá tréis tata seála. I want to thank everybody for coming here, those who came from afar. I know one or two definitely will come from Australia today. So others are here with us from the locality. I also want in particular to thank the Cabra Historical Group. One of my workers squad of Marty Pierce, what's going on the map. On the top of Peterborough, my workers come on. I'll just finish off with a number of small lads. Should be audacious happening at the end of next week. Anybody who's interested in going along, and if they want to talk to me or any of the councillors here, we'll put their names down on the visitors list. It's in the convention centre on next Sunday, which is the actual date of the rising. There's a number of events happening. The Sinn Féin event will be happening at the GPO from 10:30 onwards. And then there's a major march in the afternoon by Reclaim the Vision, which we're supporting, so we'd ask people to join us on both occasions. In this area, the next major event that we are planning is a reenactment of the court martials, and that's on May the 8th at Richmond Barracks, well in Richmond Barracks, the exact location where some of the court martials were held, and a march around the Kilmainham jail. That's on the 8th, and if anybody's looking for more information, check out the Facebooks, websites and whatever else, or just give me a call. So, just quick on me, hurrah, Harish, Coromina Malgrim, August Grebe, on Peterborough, Pat, on the Vina Hannah, Coromina Malgrim.
Put your hands like that.
Just there is refreshments back in the lounge pub, which is down on the right hand side afterwards, and that's, yeah. So you're all welcome, it'll be a welcome.